Welcome to Bear Podcast, episode 386.
When it's cold outside, am I here in bed? Hold on to the light, there will be no shame. Always I wanna be with you, make believe with you, and live in harmony, harmony. Always I wanna be with you, make believe with you, and live in harmony, harmony.
Welcome everyone to Bear Podcast. This is Nard.
And this is Ray.
So funny, Ray. Oh my god. Yeah, we just finished an interview, but we'll tell you guys more about it. But welcome to episode 386, and it's just we had a great time with their interview, Ray. Right?
Yes. And this is the second
Yeah.
time we've had him on the show, so it's been fun.
Yeah. Okay, so we better hurry because we don't want to be,
Yeah, we're going to edit down. So,
too
okay.
late. We can
Weekend
edit now.
updates, man. What'd you
Weekend
do?
updates. Okay. First of all, last weekend I got to watch football with Mike. Mike wasn't in town, and we got to watch some Ohio State. So Mike's in from Ohio. So that's pretty much it. And then afterwards, when was that? It was Saturday.
Saturday.
That was Saturday, and then Sunday we met up with John and Palima and Wayne, our friend Wayne. We went to a restaurant called Pad Thai. Sounds generic, Pad Thai restaurant. But you know what's really funny about the place? When we were there, zombies attacked us.
Ah.
Yes. Well, actually, not really zombies, but they're zombies, but they're dressed up zombies. There's a fundraiser. It's a zombie walk Houston that consists of hundreds of supporters. It's a fundraiser.
Well, I saw them out
Yeah.
Saturday night on my little
Uh-huh.
trek around downtown.
Hmm.
We were walking down there. There's these zombies that just walked by, and I was like, damn it. I said, you can't go anywhere without there being zombies anymore. They're about as bad as the gays. I mean,
Yeah,
for
it's
real.
funny. It's funny to have that we have zombies in town.
So,
But yeah,
but I thought it was hilarious.
yeah. Okay, so I took some videos. I took
Okay.
some videos for you guys to see, and it's
Okay.
kind of fun that we saw there's
And what about
some.
your little concert that you went to?
Oh yeah, okay. We did something gay.
No.
Gay people, they're considered gay because they take up the ass. But this is another way.
Not everybody gay takes it up the ass.
Yeah, but this is another gay thing that we did was to watch Erasure. Erasure. So what do you call this? Yeah, we watched Erasure at
How was Miss Bell?
Verizon Wireless. Yeah.
No, how was Miss
Yeah.
Bell?
Well, Miss Bell, he was pretty good. He was pretty. He's
Can you still hit them high
gay.
notes?
Yeah. Well, he can't do the falsettos too much. But
Well, she'd be old now too, so.
pretty old. Yeah. Yeah. It's fun watching. It's fun watching Erasure, and I've seen him twice already. I think that's the second time I've seen him. So yeah, it's fun. I like it. I like Erasure, and like I said to all my friends, listening to Erasure really makes you gay. I've seen straight people with their wives, and they start singing and dancing, and they're and waving around and they it kind of gayed them out.
There's
Yeah,
a little
Erasure
gay in
music can make
everybody.
you gay. Really?
In some people, there's a whole hell of a lot of gay, but in some people, it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. How about you, Ray? How about
I cleaned
your
carpets
weekend?
on Saturday, and then I went on a little photo shoot with my friend Ryan downtown. So we took some photos of downtown. That's when we ran into the zombies, and it was nice to walk around downtown, take pictures, see the nightlife. So,
Oh,
and then
sweet,
Sunday I
man.
worked. So
Okay. Well, that's good that you got to see the same zombies I saw. So
yeah, I don't know if they're the same. They're a bunch of girls. They look
a
like
bunch of
I thought it was
girls.
a sorority thing at first.
Hmm.
So I'm glad you pointed out that what it was. So
Yeah, it's a fundraiser.
fundraiser.
So
So
it's zombiewalkhouston.com. So
okay,
that's
we'll
what
have to
we
check
did.
it out. Maybe we can go do it one time.
Hmm. Okay, so we have an interview today with Jeff Krell. He's the creator of Jayson, and we had the pleasure of having him in the show again.
Yep.
Yeah. So here is Jeff Krell. Hey everyone, this is Nard.
And this is Ray.
Joining us today is Jeff Krell, the author of Jayson. Hey.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Yes, it's awesome to have you back again, and it's also great to meet you at last back in Comic Con in San Diego.
Yes, we ran into each other again this year. You attended a panel I was on.
Yes, definitely, and it's good to see all the gay authors there. The gay comic artists and writers, and it's just awesome to see all of you guys being in one place and sharing one common thing, the love for comics and
Right.
that kind of literature. Yeah.
And the panel that I was on, it was called the Bent Con,
The
or
Bent
Bent
Con,
Comics
that's right.
panel, because we're going to have the second annual Bent Con in Los Angeles this year. They're saying it's like Comic Con, only gayer.
Yes.
You mean Comic Con
So
gets
it's-
gayer?
The big wide world of gay comics. We had a one-day, very small event last year that turned out to be very successful. So we're growing and expanding. We're going to be in a hotel for 2 days this year in December.
Oh, this coming December.
And if any listeners would like to sponsor me and Nard and fly us out there to attend this, we'd gladly go.
Yeah, we would gladly go to San Diego just for
LA.
Los Angeles for that. Los Angeles for that. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, and VenCon, and you guys are gonna be there for 2 days, and I heard about that. It was being talked about in the panel, and I'm glad that you guys are getting together for that. And
Yeah.
it's,
What was amazing about last year is because, we're looking to expand our market. We always want more people to buy what we create. And what we found last year was people who were predisposed to buy gay comics entertainment but didn't know such a thing existed. Because we sort of have the opposite problem when we go to these mainstream comic conventions. Everyone goes there for comics, and then maybe they find out there's gay comics and they may or may not be interested in them. But in this case, we had people who would be interested but didn't know they existed. And so we won a lot of new readers last year.
yes, that's true.
Well, I noticed the couple times that I went to Comic Con that people would come by the Prism booth and they'd be like, oh. It took a little while for the straight boys to figure it out, but
Yeah, that moment of recognition.
yeah.
Well,
And then
when I
that
started
moment where
doing
they're
this-
like, are my friends going to see me?
Sorry?
So-
Yeah.
And that moment of when they're looking around to see, are my friends watching me?
Are my friends watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, things have changed, though. I started doing this with Prism Comics 6 years ago, and we had a lot of that in the beginning when Prism was new and the whole concept of gay comics was new. People just milling around, seeing what's what, and they would come to the Prism booth, and there'd be that moment of recognition followed by that ew factor, and they'd sort of laugh and run away. And about 2 years ago, that started to change where, instead of people saying, ew, gay comics, they were like, wow, gay comics, especially like teenage girls. I've seen a tremendous change in people who are not gay, straight but not narrow, especially young
Yeah.
people, actually seeking it out and thinking, well, this is fresh and new and interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of like Japanese gay anime. It's mostly for teenage girls.
Yeah.
So,
Anime. Okay, so I was there at the Prism booth, and and I got to get your Jayson comics, and
Right.
I got and you signed my copy too. It was awesome.
My pen ran out, and I was having such trouble signing it. I remember. That's why
Yeah.
I sent you a new one.
Yes, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
But you know from visiting our booth that that in addition to doing Jayson, I also translate for the German cartoonist Ralph Koenig.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I'm gonna show it to our audience here. The first one, actually, we're on video right now, so I'm showing it the Killer Condom,
Right. I
and
started way back in 1998.
Yeah, that one.
I translated something called Maybe, Maybe Not for Ralph Koenig's publisher and the sequel to it. And I heard through the grapevine, I hadn't met Ralph at that point, but I heard that he liked how I handled the translation. And those two books did very well for me. So over time, I sought out the rights to other books that he had done. I wanted to focus on things that people might know. So maybe, maybe not, and The Killer Condom were both made into movies.
Mm.
Oh,
So I
really?
focused
Wow.
next on The Killer Condom because I thought people might already recognize it, and it might make it easier to sell.
That's right, Killer Condom.
Huh.
It's kind of homoerotic in the beginning, or very homoerotic.
Erotic, yeah.
Throughout.
Yeah,
Manny, we'll have to see if that's on Netflix.
yeah, we have to check it out. And the sequel to that is Down to the Bone.
Sequel is called Down to the Bone, and
Down to the Bone.
that just came out.
It
In
just came
fact,
out.
I'm going to be debuting it at the Alternative Press Expo on October 1st, and then bringing it to New York for the New York Comic Con on October 13th through 16th.
Okay.
Well, give us a little background of Ralph Koenig's work.
Ralph
Okay.
Koenig.
Well,
Koenig, sorry.
He's really,
I'm sorry.
Ralph Koenig, yes. It looks like Koenig, but there are two little dots on top of the O.
Yeah.
That means nothing in
It's very
Southern.
German. He was really among the first wave of gay cartoonists whose work was discovered and championed in the mainstream. In fact, I'd say his work is much, even though by American standards his work is would be considered X-rated because
It is.
in my Jayson work I don't show the naughty bits. Other than a few four-letter words, my stuff is pretty safe for mainstream consumption. Whereas his has to have an adults-only label on it because there's just a whole different perspective on nudity in Europe.
Yes.
And they're much further ahead of us on gay issues too. It seems. Maybe not ahead of New York and L.A., the coasts or something. But when you take the average, of our red states and our blue states, I'd say Western Europe is pretty far ahead of us.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they've always been more comfortable with nudity. If you've ever been to Europe, you know that every city has its gay beach.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And everyone's nude.
I've been
and
to one. Yes.
You
yes.
feel
and,
out of place if you don't take off your clothes.
That's true. Even though if it's not only gays, even the straight people too, they don't mind.
No.
And I've seen families there, families
Yeah.
Yeah.
running around in the nude in the beach. Oh, very liberal. Yeah.
So Ralph Koenig's work has a lot of nudity in it, a lot of gay sex, but he has a very cartoony style. So I would hardly call it pornographic, and I have yet to meet a person who gets off on it. Although I'm sure that person exists.
Oh, I'm sure there's somebody out there.
You've
There's,
seen his work. It's drawn in a very funny style. It lets you know up front that this is going to be a funny, entertaining book, and it's not. His characters are really not sexy. They're kind of lumpy.
yeah.
They're lumpy.
They're kind of bearish.
They're bearish.
Well, the main character in The Killer Condom and Down to the Bone is a detective who is a bear,
gay detective.
a daddy bear, I guess.
A daddy bear.
Certainly,
That's what I'm talking
he
about.
prides himself on being a hairy daddy.
Yeah.
He distinguishes himself from that other kind of gay,
Oh, that's
which is
awesome.
it's sort of a fascinating thing about the nature of the kind of sex he has and the nature of the kinds of cases he chooses to take. So it all comes together.
But you could tell also that they do promote safe sex too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
And I noticed the character and that the characters are all uncut.
Yes.
Oh, they're European.
Well, that's interesting because most of Ralph Koenig's works are set in Germany, and his characters are German. But these two, Killer Condom and Down to the Bone, they're meant to be parodies of American horror movies, and they're set in New York. So the character, whose ancestors are Italian, is supposed to live in New York. But I don't know if you're familiar with. There's a German author from the 19th century named Karl May, who's very famous in Germany, and he's famous for writing American westerns. And he never visited America. So it was, and Ralph Koenig has not visited America either. So everything he knows about New York and about America came from watching TV shows. Right? It's one of our most successful exports is cop shows.